Hi everyone, welcome to World of Tanks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie, you're not, and this is Rheinmettal from Clan. Rheinmettal in the Tiger 1. Yeah, the Tiger 1's Tier 7 German heavy tank. I had to think for a minute there. Nothing wrong with my brain this time of the morning. I can tell you right now, Rheinmettal from Clan in the Tiger 1. This is a tank that I cannot remember ever doing a video on this tank. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is probably one of the tanks that often gets said that it's one of the tanks probably most recognisable from people who watch old World War II movies or from people who read about it. Tiger is one of the tanks that keeps getting talked about in World War II movies, books, documentaries, all that kind of stuff. It's and in World of Tanks, it's a Tier 7 heavy tank. It's one of the most recognisable tanks in the game, I guess. Unfortunately, the general consensus seems to be it's probably one of the tanks which is most underwhelming, I guess you could say, because even though it's a heavy tank, I can never remember having any troubles penetrating it. And of course, at least if you believe what's said in the movies, it was pretty hard to penetrate in World War II, but who knows. It's got an 88mm gun, 240 damage, 203 penetration with standard, 237 with armour piercing, which is premium rounds. Rheinmettal from Clan, almost top tier in this game. It's a Tier 8 battle. There's only 3 Tier 8s on each team, the IS-3, Lorraine 40 ton, and the Scorpion G on the enemy team. Tiger 2, STA2, and the Scorpion G on Rheinmetall's team. And I think because of the IS-3, is chosen not to go the traditional heavy line, leave that one to the Tiger 2, but the Tiger 2 looks like he's only just left the spawn, and Rheinmettal looking down towards, you'd think on a map like Redshire, this in a game like this western flank is probably where you would imagine that a lot of Tier 6 tanks would go, and that's probably what Rheinmetall's thinking with his Tiger 1. Go there, bully the hell out of these Tier 6s, and hope he doesn't meet anything too big. The Lorraine 40T has not been seen yet, and of course that Lorraine 40T could certainly put a big dent in Rheinmetall's 1500 hit points. There's the Lorraine 40T, just gets spotted there in the middle. Unfortunately on red shot you can see a lot of camping. The Scorpion G on Rheinmetall's team is right on the red line back here with the artillery pieces, and Rheinmetall looking for a shot into the Tier 8 premium French auto-loading medium tank, one of my favourite premiums at the moment. 1-all is the score. The VK3601H goes down on Rheinmetall's team, and it looks like he's going to try and bully this Skoda T40. He's only on 332 hit points, which will be 2 shots for Rheinmettal in his Tiger 1, but he's got to be mindful of that Skoda, of that Lorraine 40T I should say. I reckon he probably thinks by the time he pushes onto this Skoda T40, this Lorraine will be loaded and will probably have shots into his side, so maybe he's choosing to back up a bit. The IS goes down on the enemy team, sniped out by this Scorpion G, and that Scorpion G will be a little bit worried about that IS-3, but we'll see what happens in that northeast corner. It looks like nobody really went for it. The Tiger 2 did. He went late, but he still went for it. He got taken out for it. And I reckon the Nazor was probably killed up here. Anyway, the Skoda T40 goes down, as does the IS-3, killed by the M12. Tier 6 American artillery piece. And people calling for the Type 58 to scout. Yeah, the Type 58 is a fair way back. Probably a little bit nervous being only on 436 hit points when there's so many big guns still left on the enemy team. 4-5's the score. Rheinmettal from Clan hasn't really done much yet. He's just getting warmed up though. He is in the big, slow, lumbering Tier 7 German heavy tank, the Tiger 1, the one that we've all seen in the movies, and his team not doing too well at all. It looks like he's up there against a Tier 6 Chinese tank destroyer. Yeah, you'd hope he would be able to bounce a Tier 6 tank destroyer's gun. Let's see. Don't know much about the Tier 6 Chinese tank destroyer. It looks like Rheinmettal is going to go for it. Probably worked out that most of the enemy tanks are elsewhere. Now, people are often critical of the Tiger's armour, but you can't pick on his gun. Nice and accurate. He's just put 2 shots into that Z131 GFT before artillery picked up the kill, and they're trying to claw it back 5-6. Rheinmettal on nearly 500 hit points of damage. He knew artillery was coming. That's why he started driving the other way. I reckon by the time he gets his gun back into position, his crew should no longer be stunned. Looks like he's looking towards that Dickermax, who I think is on the other side of that mountain. 5-6 is the score. Bit of an unusual game, this one. A little bit, I guess you could call it slow, but let's see if Rheinmettal from GameCon can carry it, because they're down by 2 tanks. He's not in a tank known for its carry power, but when he sees the back of the T3485, he's always got to do his aim properly, and he'll pick up that shot, no worries at all. Looks like he's going to try and side scrape a little bit off this broken down old castle. Lots of enemy guns in there. The VK30A1P, the Rain 42, the 4-shot autoloader, T3485 at T6, but more importantly, that Scorpion G. Now, he's staying behind this wall to minimise the chances of the 2 enemy artilleries dropping turds on his head, because I think at the moment he's probably the biggest target. He's top tier now. Like, there's no tier 8s left on Rheinmettal's team. There's 2 tier 8s left on the enemy team, but as far as size goes, he's probably the biggest tank left. So I think as soon as he gets spotted, the artillery would see the Tiger at tier 7 as a nice big soft juicy target. 5-7 the score. He's on 741 damage. Looks like he's looking towards that T28 AT. You can hear that go to T25 and possibly the Firefly shooting at him. And looks like he wants to try and get into a flanking position. Just tried to highlight the T28 AT there to see which way his gun was aiming. Of course, that T28 AT, now he's aiming Rheinmettal's way. Rheinmettal does bounce the shell, makes a liar out of him. He bounced him for 320 hit points. But little pesky T3485 coming to play now. Artillery shoots and splashes Rheinmettal. Fails to pen the T28 AT. To be fair, his crew was stunning. I don't mean stunning as in just good looking. Now, of course, he makes a liar out of me. I did say that the gun in this thing was good. He bounces the T3485 when he had a good shot on him, but then he pens when he didn't have such a good shot on him. So who knows what's going to happen here on Redshire. Rheinmettal on 1176 damage. His teammates are slowly dying though. That Lorraine 40 ton, I reckon, is the one getting all this vision into the game. The Lorraine 40 ton last spotted around here. He's probably not there anymore. He hasn't been spotted for some time. Maybe he's gone back around here to try and get cheeky shots into these other enemy tanks. 352 hit points left on that T28 AT. But Rheinmettal wants to get a kill. He picks up his first kill of the game, claws the score back 8-9, and there you go. There's another kill. Now he's getting serious. 2 kills, 1552 damage. Now just the VK30A1P is the last enemy tank spotted in Rheinmettal's vicinity, but he wants to know where that Lorraine is. Artillery shoots him, kills his radio man, and stuns his crew. Doesn't use a... Well, he can't use his first aid kit. He's just going to wait until his tracks come good again, and then he can try and help the T28 AT, the Type 58, and the Lorraine 15550 up against that Lorraine 40 ton. I very much doubt that Lorraine 40 ton was in that area all that time. It looks like it won't take too much to get rid of the premium tier 8 auto-loading French medium tank, because it doesn't have the armour. You'd hope this guy would have some shots on him. He's saying requesting fire. Who can request? Why are you saying that for the T25 too? Unfortunate for Rheinmettal and his team. That Lorraine 42 is having an absolute perler of a game. I don't know if that's going to hit. No, it's not going to. 10-11 to score now. The Lorraine 42 finally gets taken out by that T25-2. He was on about 600 hit points last time we saw him. But Rheinmettal doing the right thing here. Keeping eyes down the west. This is where most of these enemy tanks were last seen, the VK30A1P as well as the Firefly. Now that Firefly, not the slowest tank in the game, and the VK30A1P probably not too quick, but there's the Dickermax over there on 500 odd hit points, puts a big shot into the T28 AT. Unfortunately, it's pretty unfortunately it's pretty slow to get around there. Should get one shot into the Dickermax. Hopefully he keeps him spotted. He's only on 4 hit points. Hopefully Oh no, he'll do it himself. Don't wait for artillery. He'll do it himself. Picks up his third kill of the game with the score 11-12. Only 5 minutes left on the timer. He backs right up and turns around. 2 shells are probably incoming. He wants to find out where this VK3001P is at tier 6, as well as the Firefly. There's the Firefly. There's the VK. Will Artie have shots from where he is? There's only one artillery left, and it is the tier 7. He's not having a bad game. That's not a bad shot at all. Into the Firefly. Probably a good idea going for the Firefly. It's got a little bit less armour than the VK, I would imagine. That shot, I think, might have went into the dead tank. But the rate of fire on the Tiger 1, not too bad. You don't have to wait an age for the reload, as Rheinmettal looks on expanding on his 3 kills. Something just hit that VK for 248, the T28-2 I guess, and so Rheinmettal being quite patient here, just keeping these tanks lit, picks himself up another kill, evens the scoreboard up again. He does get stunned by artillery, and that's enough for the VK3001P to get a little bit brave and come out and put a shot into Rheinmettal's Tiger. His crew no longer stunned now. Oh, pretty interesting move by the VK, firing high explosive in towards Rheinmettal. Rheinmettal's just picked up his 5th kill of the game, and for the first time, I reckon they're winning. Well, they are. I know they're winning. But for the first time in this game, they're up 13-12. Both artilleries hit him for a combined total of over about 650 hit points, and that's certainly going to affect his game. Takes his health down to 158, and they both know where Rheinmettal's coming from. Rheinmettal on 5 kills. 2,346 hit points of damage, 320 blocked, 969 assisted damage, a lot of that from spotting those medium tanks down that western flank. The T28-2 spots the M12. Rheinmettal will be hoping that he kills him, because he doesn't, bad enough having one artillery aiming at him. That T28-2 lights hitting the requesting fire button. There's only one arty left, so he's got to find him, he's got to look on the map, he's got to turn his tank around possibly and aim towards that M12. As Rheinmettal moves towards the enemy cap on 148 hit points, 2346 damage done, 5 kills. He fancies himself here up against 2 artilleries. The M12 last spotted right in that corner. Now, if he's right in that corner, he won't be able to aim his tank this way, I don't think. Rheinmettal asking the T28-2 to spot. Now, this T28-2, I'm sure he's had a really good game, and I'm sure he's a really good player, but he did spend a lot of the start of the game on the red line up here around about A5. Yeah, looks like he is going to try and spot these artillery pieces. He doesn't want to throw this game away. Even though it's two artilleries left, it's certainly conceivable that that they might lose it. But now, no, they're not going to. Rheinmettal unlucky not to get a top gun. Pardon me, but look, you accept these wins all day long. Let's have a quick look at the result before we move on to the next 2 battles, both featuring no stranger to this channel, the Ace of Spades. This is Rheinmettal though. In that game, he picked up his 2nd mark of excellence in the Tiger, so he's certainly been persisting with the heavily criticised Tier 7 German heavy tank. Some people love it, some people hate it, but look, I just went through the grind. I didn't find it. It was a long time ago that I played it, but I didn't find it terribly good or bad. It was an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge, Hand of God, Duelist, Fighter, 5 for effect and high caliber. Unlucky not to get the top gun because he found that Russian arty in the end, and unfortunately one shot wasn't enough to pick up his 6th kill, but he certainly carried it. 2,586 damage in a Tier 7 tank in a Tier 8 game. The Scorpion, the only other tank that did more than 2,000 hit points of damage. 18 shots fired, 15 hit, 13 did damage. He only just made credits. There were some APCR rounds fired, and I guess that makes a pretty big difference when you're running a standard account. But all in all, a good ace and a good carry from my old mate Rheinmettal from Calm Clan, carrying the shit out of the battle on Redshire in his Tiger 1 as we move on to the 2nd battle in this triple shot of Tier 7 action. This one features the Ace of Spades on Pilsen, the Ace of Spades in the T28 HTC. He's putting some advice into the chat to his team. Ignore that I'm a tank destroyer. I'm going to go for this one, and let's see how he goes on Pilsen. Anyway, a little bit about the tank. T28 HTC. It's a funny looking tank. You got to give it that. I was pretty excited when I first got mine. It was a while ago now. This is the second tank that you can get as a reward tank. As part of the personal missions, if you haven't activated them, go to the campaign section of your garage. You can activate these missions. Pick up some tanks just for playing a normal game generally, and also a lot of other things along the way. So premium time, consumables, credits, you name it. Anyway, Ace of Spades from Crazy Clan on Pilsen, playing it like a heavy because the HTC does stand for Heavy Tank Concept. It's got a decent amount of frontal armour. When you're top tier, and he's not top tier in this game, but when you are top tier, you can pretty much bounce whatever you like frontally. It's got that armour around there, even though the lower plate looks pretty flat. It is pretty well armoured, and even though it doesn't have a turret, you can see how far you can still turn your gun at the front of this thing. So if you're fighting in a corridor, you can really get up the front and really get nasty with this thing. And it hasn't got a bad gun either. 105mm gun, 320 alpha damage, 181 penetration with standard, 224 with APCR rounds, and he's found the IS. Unfortunately, he didn't get his first shot through the Tier 7 Russian heavy tank, but he didn't take any damage either, and that's a testament to he's got it pretty well angled too. And with the way that the gun can go left and right, you can angle your shots pretty well. He's got one eye on that Tiger P. Gonna have to make a decision here. You'd probably rather, if one of them's going to shoot you in the side, you'd rather it be the Tiger P, I guess, with the lower alpha gun compared to the IS. His team are down by one. Ace of Spades being very, very patient. I reckon I would have probably taken a little bit more damage by now, but looks like he might be going to try and help the Tiger 1 get rid of this Tiger P. Of course, both of them are Tier 7 heavy tanks, but it looks like the Tiger 1 struggling to penetrate the Tiger P. There you go, bounces the Tiger P. Unfortunately, he's making a liar out of me. Did I say the gun was good? Well, look, once it gets going, he'll be absolutely fine. Tiger P, though, to be fair, he's doing a good job moving backwards and forwards, trying to make it as hard as possible for Ace of Spades' team to damage him. But now he's got an autoloader behind him. He knows that the end is inevitable. 2-3 is the score. Ace of Spades, he's done a little bit of damage. He's blocked 870, which isn't too bad at all at Tier 7. Looking towards the IS, fires without aiming quite fully, and he pays the price for it. Let's see what he's going to do now. The score's 2-4. He's firmly looking towards that IS. There's also a Stritzwagen S1 back there. Now that is a tank that probably won't have too much problems penetrating Ace of Spades. He critical hits the Stritzwagen. That is just one of those freaky shots. Now we should have no problems. Shoots him, sets him on fire, gets rid of him. I guess that makes up for that bounce shot on the side of that premium Swedish tank destroyer. Bounces the IS again. Gets some damage from... There's two artilleries there, both aiming Ace of Spades as well. Possibly XVM sniping. That shot doesn't bounce the IS. Takes him for 329 hit points. Someone else picks up the kill. There's someone on cap. Looks like the Steyr-Waffenträger is going back to the cap. He needs to be careful. He doesn't have any armour. Now this is probably where you might see the nice shot into the AT7. But now that the enemy team are capping and Ace of Spades is so far from the friendly cap, he's really going to struggle to get back there if that's what he wants to do. Let's see what he does on Pilsen. The score's 5-5. Looks like the Cromwell is in a big hurry to get shot at by this AT7. The Object 416 picks up the kill, and they're winning 6-5. But the enemy team are capping. Just one enemy tank sitting on the cap. He picks up he shoots and kills the Hellcat. I missed that. I was looking at the minimap trying to work out who might be capping from the enemy team. Moving on to try and put some pain into this KV4. Another unlucky shot. Doesn't penetrate the side of the KV4. The KV4, a pretty heavily armoured tank. That shot goes through for 327 hit points, bringing his total damage done up to 2,000, but nobody's going for the cap. What's going on here? Puts another shot into the KV4. Now that KV4 looks like he might have given up. Two friendly tanks are getting on the cap. Maybe... No, they've driven straight past the cap. 15 seconds left before the enemy team cap this one out. This is going to be a heartbreaker if they do it. What is going on? Nobody going back. The 416, I think, has taken a little bit too long to get back there. I reckon they're going to cap this one out. 1 second remaining, and bad luck. Bit of a heartbreaker. Puts another shot into the T28 85M just to make his game look a little bit better. Unlucky. It was a defeat, but it was still an Ace Tanker Mastery badge. Look, what could he have done? Could he have gone back earlier? I don't know. He probably could have, considering how long it took. But look, to be fair, I don't really think it was Ace of Spades' job in probably the slowest tank in that game to go back for the resets. That was an Ace Tanker Mastery badge in that little performance on Pilsen. Arsenus for setting the Stritzwagen on fire and killing him. Bruiser Metal, Shellproof, Fire for Effect and High Caliber. He certainly topped the score charts. 2,964 damage for his 2 kills. Who else was left? The Object 416 is probably the only tank quick enough to get back. Maybe the Emil. Not sure where the Emil was towards the end. Not sure who capped it. It was the MT25, so it certainly wouldn't have been too hard to get a reset on it. Made a few coins, 1682 with, and that's with an achievement in there as well. Must have fired some premium ammunition at some stage. Probably against the IS2. Remember, he had a little bit of problems, or the IS I should say. He had a few problems penetrating the IS at the beginning of the game, but not a bad performance in the T28 concept, the heavy tank concept, the second personal reserve reward tank in World of Tanks. Now here he is again. This time it's an all tier 7 battle on Muravenka. Ace of Spades running it alone in this one. T28 heavy tank concept. Looks like he's going with a similar point of view as he did at the start of the other one. When you're top tier, and some people will say this isn't top tier, but it is. It's an all tier 7 game. When you're in the top tier tank, you can certainly push into these enemy vehicles and bounce shit, put damage into these enemy tanks, and let's see what he does down the 1-2 line of Muravenka. He's not stuffing around, is he? He's going to go straight into where the heavy tanks do the bizzo, and it certainly can act as a heavy tank. The problem with this tank is its speed. It is slow, so I reckon Ace of Spades is thinking it's slow. So you've got to go the shortest distance possible to get into where all the action happens. Because of the good gun traverse left and right, you can angle the tank really well. Bounce shots. Unfortunately, that wasn't a bounce shot, but you can. You saw that in the other game. You can bounce shots all day long and really get in the face of your opponents with its good tier 7 tank destroyer gun. He's already put one shot into the FV204A45. That's another premium British heavy tank. Looks like it might be getting a little bit crowded here. Not sure. He's trying to convince his T43 to fall back. He's probably not in the position to do that. It looks like that. Sorry, it looked like that T43 was thinking about putting the shot into the side of Ace of Spades' tank there for that little bit of the encouragement that he was given. He bounces a shot from the IS, puts a shot into him. And a good thing like this, because it's so slow and lumbering, and this is what I was trying to say earlier before I got distracted, the artillery will often focus this tank. Maybe because it's a reward tank, but also because it's something that's pretty slow and can't get out of the way too quickly, unlike a light tank or a medium tank. But in a match-up like this, where there's no artillery, you can really get nice and aggressive. Now he has taken a fair bit of damage here. He's down to about half health. His aggressive moves at the start has helped his team though. He's inspired his team into greatness. The T43 just fired what sounded like an HE round. It might be the O knee, quite possibly. It's got that big derp gun, hasn't it? 3 zips a score. He's on nearly 1,000 damage. Let's see what he can do now. He's blocked 710. T25 AT damages his gun. Quick tap of the 4 key. Fixes that one. 3 zip is the score. He's looking at the IS. In this game, he's generally not having many problems penetrating the IS. That shot didn't even hit the Tiger 1. Wasn't quite fully aimed though, to be fair. 966 damage done, 1350 damage blocked, a little bit of assisted damage. He's looking towards that IS. That was aimed a little bit too high. He's making a liar out of me, saying that this tank's good. Look, I enjoy playing this tank, I've got to say. Getting into a position like this where you can get in a place where all your enemies are in front of you, then it's not too bad at all. 3-zip the score, looking towards the IS again. Unfortunately, he bounces the top of the turret, but he bounces the T28 AT shell as well. Is that Oni about to give Ace of Spades a little push? Who knows? The score's 4-1. He's up to 1291 damage. He's blocked 1610. He's decided time to start moving forward. I'll jump. He's hoping somebody hits that T25. So T25's been shooting him a fair bit, but he is down to 58 hit points. Surely somebody's going to try and seagull that kill. He finds the J Panther, takes him down to 196 with one big shell, and doesn't quite get the kill. This could be a kill shot. It is. Finally gets rid of that pesky little American tank destroyer and makes the score 8-3. Tiger 1 goes down elsewhere. There's another Tiger. Unfortunately, that one doesn't go through. Sticking with standard rounds now. Bounces the return shot from the Tiger. Looking for the top of the turret. Did that go through? Somebody damaged it. I don't think it was Ace of Spades though. Ace of Spades on 1679 damage done. 1910 damage blocked. Turning me into a liar here. Some of his shots aren't going through. To be fair though, some of them aren't really... That one certainly wasn't aimed very well at all. 10-4 though. You've got to take these shots as soon as you see them though. Side of the AMX M445. How did that one not go through? This is out of control, this replay. He'll be thankful that his teammates are doing the right thing. Picks up the kill on the French heavy tank. 12-5 the score now. Looks like he's using a dead tank there for a little bit of cover. Side of the turret into the IS. Takes him down to a one-shot before the friendly IS picks up the kill. 13-5's the score. 2,251 damage done. 2,300 damage blocked. Is there going to be any more? Only one enemy tank left, and it is the Tiger. Not sure what happened there. There you go. Aims, shoots, kills. 3 kills. Gets a platoon invite, and you'll see why that happened in just a few seconds. Let's have a quick look at the result. That one was a victory. That's the result we were looking for. It's a victory. An Ace Tanker Mastery Badge, Bruiser, Shellproof, 5 for Effect, Brothers in Arms. And that's one of the good things about the dynamic platoons, I guess you could say. You can send someone a platoon invite right at the end. And if you've got 3 kills each, you pick up a Brothers in Arms if you've got 3 kills and survive. Second page, 2,354 damage. Second highest by damage, a T71, which is the other guy who had 3 kills as well. He's the one who got the top damage. 22 shots fired, 15 hit, but only 9 went through, making a bit of a liar out of me. Look, some of the shots, and I'm not trying to be critical of the Ace of Spades, some of the shots weren't really aimed that well, but it's that kind of... When you're in the moment, I guess sometimes you got to take the shots before it is fully aimed, I guess. Anyway, he's lost a few credits there. Didn't see premium rounds used, but I wasn't. Maybe that's something I missed. It wouldn't be unusual. Cost him 9,000 credits, even though it was a win. Going by the cost of the ammunition, I'd say some of those shots probably were premium rounds. But there you go. 3 Ace Tanker Mastery Badges, 2 wins and a loss. The Tiger 1 featuring Rheinmettal, and the T28 heavy tank concept with Ace of Spades. That's the second personal reserves reward tank. So if you haven't already done it, go to your campaign part of your tank. And look, I did a guide not too long ago. The guide should be in my channel somewhere. If you search for personal missions guide, it'll be in there, that's for sure. Thank you very much for the replays, lads. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook and Twitch. Links down below. Take care and see you all next time.